Good afternoon, Ambassador Quinones, and thank you for your remarks, Ambassador Perry, and distinguished representatives of the member states of the Organization of American States. My name is June Llorenzo. I am Caucus Co-Chair for North America, and I am the Laguna Pueblo Navajo. I've been greetings from the leadership from my Pueblo, and well wishes for all of the individuals in this room. As we conclude the 14th meeting of negotiations of the Quest Consensus, we, the Indigenous Peoples Caucus, wish to make the following observations. We first wish to stress that over the years of negotiating this important declaration, we have strived to become more and more consistent, building upon each meeting so that we do not waste time and resources in these meetings. Many of the Indigenous individuals who attend these meetings have been doing so since we began the process, as you heard this afternoon. In this regard, we appreciate the efforts of the Department of International Law, which make arrangements for our caucus meetings. Yep. And despite the many hurdles we face in communicating across this continent, we do our best to prepare for these negotiation meetings, and as far as possible, to have unified positions for these meetings. Moreover, we have analyzed every proposal, and we have set forth and provided rationale and legal justifications for these positions. Respectfully, we regret to say that we have experienced a lack of respect for this process during these meetings. If some states are not consistent in their advocacy, not building upon prior meetings, and providing analysis and rationale for their proposals, we sometimes have to ask in the caucus, where is the political will to move forward in this process? We regret that for at least part of the day there was not a quorum present. Yes, we are acutely aware of the diminishing level of resources to support this process, and therefore have made our efforts to maximize the time and resources we have been given for this meeting. Before this meeting, we had less than half a day to work towards unifying our many positions and preparing proposals for this process. When we have had more time to prepare our positions, we believe it has led to more progress than working group sessions. Last year, we made significant progress, and we are grateful for the progress that we made this afternoon. We do ask that government continue to support specific funds, which makes participation possible for many of us, and we thank the government that gave contributions for this meeting. Second, we continue to have serious concerns about some of the methodology used for this meeting. This includes the unprecedented attempt this afternoon to reopen a paragraph that was agreed upon in the morning. We do not believe it has been conducive to progress in these negotiations. We respectfully question, for instance, the use of allowing some to present new text and then placing proposals in the negotiated text on the screen. We do not believe this honors the methodology that we set forth for these meetings. We reviewed document Doc 246-06 Rep 8, which provides language regarding how to deal with alternative proposals. This was practiced at the last meeting, and we believe it serves this process well. The record of the current status and compendium of proposals are then compiled and set out clearly whether consensus has been reached or not. We do believe positive momentum has been created by addressing first those articles which are close to consensus. This is why, for example, the caucus requested that we consider Articles 16, 21, and 23 during this session. Third, we believe that if some states do not exercise good faith in these areas, the effect is to undermine and compromise our rights, many of which are already enshrined in international documents, including ILO 169, the American Declaration on the Rights of Man, and the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. The Inter-American Court has interpreted these documents to apply international standards to our rights. Several of our colleagues have attempted to remind states of this fact we wish to remind state participants in this process of Article 34 bis, which was agreed upon by consensus on December 8, 2006. And that article provides, and I quote, "Nothing in this declaration may be interpreted so as to limit, restrict, or deny human rights in any way, or so as to authorize any action that is not in keeping with international human rights law." We urge all member states to respect this consensus in this negotiation process. We further wish to highlight Article 38, which was agreed upon by consensus in March 2006. This article provides, and I quote, "Nothing in this declaration shall be construed as diminishing or extinguishing rights that Indigenous peoples now have or may acquire in the future." We now have the UN Declaration, and we have cited some of its provisions throughout the last few days. We urge all member states to honor the letter and the spirit of this consensus article as we proceed in this process. We thank those states who have participated in good faith in this meeting, and we call upon those that have not participated to join us. The CARICOM countries, for example, could contribute much to this process. We believe that with true and meaningful dialogue that's taking place in these meetings, we have advanced in our mutual understanding. We have contributed to an increasing recognition that human rights standards should be applied to resolve historic injustices, and we advance this process. We regret the absence of General Secretary of State, but we're grateful for the presence of Ambassador Quiñones. We believe his presence in negotiations is always important. And we reiterate our call to the United States and Canada to withdraw their reservations, not block census, and adopt a constructive attitude to ensure the timely adoption of the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples that reflects in a true and effective manner our human rights. They, too, must respect the principles of international cooperation and solidarity that underlie the Organization of American States. We do believe it is possible to complete this process, which is why we have set out these concerns and requests. At the recent Indigenous Leaders Summit in Cartagena, there was overwhelming support for completion of this process. The OAS, Organization of American States, has much to contribute to the growth of international human rights, and we firmly believe that an American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples will be a monumental achievement not only for the people of this hemisphere, but for the entire world. Finally, we continue to do this work because we want to return to our respective states, where we continue to face discrimination and denial of human rights, and tell our people that there is progress in the Organization of American States. We want to say that we, together with state governments, are elaborating declarations that furthers the Organization of American States Democratic Charter, which calls for human rights protection and promotion for Indigenous peoples, that addresses centuries of injustice and discrimination, and that recognizes our common humanity. We remain committed to this declaration so much that an Indigenous people, the Navajo Nation, have offered to host the next negotiation meeting. We reaffirm our support for the Navajo Nation and are aware that they have made diligent efforts to make this a reality in meetings with the United States and the Organization of American States. We believe that with